Okay, so second video of the day. I just wanted to keep the two videos separate so that if one wasn't relevant, you didn't have to look at both of them basically, but they're both going to be there now. So we are on day 7 of our socialisation challenges. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Because it's the 7th of May. So yesterday I didn't manage to go on and do a video, so I just posted the challenge without a video. So what I thought I'd do is I'd recap what I wanted to do for yesterday's challenge, and I'd introduce today's challenge as well. So yesterday's challenge, I wanted you to work on some sound socialisation with them. So this is a really nice, easy one to do while you're in lockdown because you can do it at home. But it's also really important because if they become scared of noises or they're startled by them, that's really going to kind of restrict their day-to-day lives when they're adult dogs, because there's going to be all kinds of different noises everywhere they go basically. And it's not just thinking about like thunder and fireworks, obviously, which there's going to be eventually. It's just thinking about things like motorbikes going past, or the smoke alarm going off, or just somebody dropping a pan on the floor. There's, in everyday life, there are going to be lots of different noises that they're going to have to get used to. So what we need to do is we need to do sound socialisation, which is basically getting them used to lots of different noises, lots of different kinds of noises, different volumes of noises, so that they can learn themselves that there's nothing to worry about, that loud noises don't necessarily mean anything bad in particular, that loud noises are just part of life and there's nothing to worry about. So one way that you can do this is there's actually a really good app which was specifically designed for sound socialisation, and it's by a trainer in Australia called Amy, who specialises in puppies in the same way that I do, and she's designed an app called the Soundproof Puppy Training app. So you can download that onto your phone or onto your tablet. I think it's $3.99 or something around that, around £3 or £4. So it's not a free one, you do have to pay for it. And on the app, there's a really big library of different noises. And the idea is it's basically a complete library of noises. So if you can get your puppy used to all of those noises, then they're pretty much going to be soundproof. So you've got things like trains, planes, lawnmowers, hoovers, fireworks, thunder, kids shouting, dogs barking, a really, really wide range of different sounds. So that's a nice, easy way of doing it. You can also do it for free just by having a little look on YouTube, and I also believe that there might be some Spotify playlists as well. If you've got a Spotify account, there's some sound socialisation playlists on there for puppies. So if you don't want to spend the money on the app, there are ways of doing it for free as well. I prefer using the app just because then I know that I've ticked everything off. I'm worried that I'll miss something out if I just go on YouTube. I prefer using the app. And then what we're going to do with our sound socialisation is we're going to start it off quite quiet. So you'd start it at a really low level in the background so that they probably notice the noise, but they quickly forget about it. You don't want to go in really loud straight away because that's going to startle them and that's going to scare them. We don't want to do that. So we want to start off nice and quiet first of all. And I would recommend doing it with them while they're doing something nice. So obviously if they're asleep and all of a sudden they hear the sound of a dog barking, that might wake them up and startle them. Whereas if they're busy doing some training with you or playing with a toy, having a game of tuggy or a game of fetch, or you're just doing some grooming or something like that, that would be a really good time to have some sound socialisation going on in the background, because if they're doing something nice like training with treats or playing with toys, that's something positive that's happening. So even if the sounds are a little bit unsettling for them, we're pairing those sounds with something positive, which is the toy or the game or the food and the attention from you, which will change their association. It will make them see those sounds as good things rather than things to worry about. So that's the kind of the sort of the idea behind it. And once they're okay with it quite quiet, that's when you'd start to increase the volume. So you'd start to turn it up just a little bit at a time. Again, you don't want to have any big jumps so that they get startled. If you turn it up and all of a sudden they're really worried and they don't go back to the training or they don't go back to the play because they're too worried about the noise, we've turned it up too much, we need to turn it back down again. It's little tiny bits at a time that you want to increase it. And the best way to try and do it is if you've got some kind of speaker system that you can connect your phones to so that eventually you can move it up to full volume. Obviously the sound from your phones isn't quite as good as if you've got some kind of like Bluetooth speaker or something like that, and you can get the volume much louder. So if you think about how loud, you know, if they're walking down the road and a motorbike goes past, how loud that's going to be, or when it's firework night, how loud fireworks are going to be, we do need to be trying to get them comfortable with the sounds at full volume, really. So I would try and gradually build up to that. And as I say, you can do this at home. So this is totally unaffected by what we're doing with lockdown. Okay, so that's your sound socialisation. So that's yesterday's challenge. But obviously you've got plenty of time to catch up on it. And as I've said before, you don't have to do the challenges on the day. I'm just trying to cover things so that you know what you want to be doing. You know, you might end up saving them and doing like 6 of them at the weekend, and that's absolutely fine. The main thing is that you get on and do them. So that's your sound socialisation. So that's quite a big one. That's quite a big challenge to you. It's going to take you quite a while to work through. So today's challenge is going to be an easier one. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get them used to people wearing masks. So we don't really know what's happening, do we? We don't really know how long we're going to be in lockdown for, what the situation is going to be when we are out and about, but people are starting to wear masks more, and that can be quite scary for a lot of puppies. Puppies and adult dogs as well rely on our kind of facial expressions and our hand signals and our body language. So they'll use what they can see to reassure them as to whether a situation's safe or a person's safe or friendly, or if there's something to be worried about. So if you think about it, if we've got a mask on, I've not got a mask, and like this area's covered, you're taking away a lot of that information, aren't you? They can still see your eyes, but they can't see what your mouth is doing or your nose or anything like that. So it's bound to be really unsettling for them. And this is going to be the same for adult dogs as well, because they're just not going to have seen people with masks on. And it doesn't matter if it's a mask or if it's like a bandana type thing or a scarf, just something like that. We need to get them used to people with face coverings on, basically. So I want you to, if you've got masks, use masks. That's perfect. If you've not got masks, you can use a scarf. You could just use, like, if you've got like a polo neck that you can kind of roll up, just something so that kind of from here downwards that area is blocked, so that they're just getting used to the eyes. And everyone in the family needs to do a little bit of this, because we want them to get used to the fact that different people might be wearing masks at different times and there's nothing to worry about. And then what you can do is, when you've got the mask on, you can play with them, you can do some training, you can treat them for being around you with the mask on as well. And everyone needs to be doing this. As I say, this isn't just for puppies, this is going to be for adult dogs as well. And especially so if you've got a dog that is a little bit funny or nervous or wary with people. Any dogs that have got any kind of previous anxieties around people or new people or men or whatever it is, you're going to have to work even harder on this, because what we don't want is, we don't want to find that we can all go out and about out of lockdown, but everyone's wearing masks and all of a sudden our dogs are terrified and they're lunging and barking, or they're refusing to go out for walks anymore because there's all these scary people with masks everywhere. In a way, it's going to be easier for the puppies because we can get them used to it now. Whereas the older dogs, they're going to be that little bit older. It'll take them a bit longer to get used to it. Okay, so if you've got any questions about either of those, let me know. So yesterday's challenge, the day 6 challenge, is sound socialisation. Today's challenge, which is the day 7 challenge, is getting them used to people wearing masks. Okay, for those of you who want to do a little bit more work on your socialisation in terms of a bit more of a structured thing, we've got a new puppy course starting in a couple of weeks, which is a specific training and socialisation course, and it's on special offer at the moment with 20% off. And there's spaces on there to book. They're quite small classes. There's only 4 in a class, so they do get booked up quite quickly. So if anybody wants to get booked onto that, I would recommend getting on and having a look soon. So it's on the website, which is thepuppynanny.co.uk. That's thepuppynanny.co.uk. And then you can see on there that it's the perfect puppy course, which covers all of your training and all of your socialisation for your new puppy. And puppies, so long as they're under 6 months, they're very welcome. Even if you've just got them and they're sort of 8 or 9 or 10 weeks old, that's absolutely fine. They can join us straight away. Okay, right, let me know how you get on. Share photos and videos of your sound socialisation challenges and your mask challenges as well, and I will catch up with you in the group. Okay.